Commissioner Longmire.
Present.
Chairman Mahoney.
He's excused.
Commissioner Plummer.
Here.
Commissioner Skolnick. Vice Chairman Snyder.
He's excused.
Commissioner Wilkins. Here. 9 present, 2 excused.
Thank you. Next item is approval of agenda minus the appointments on section A, or section 11C.
Sorry.
Moved by Engel, seconded by Cross. The agenda be approved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. 6, approval of the minutes of January 24, 2012. Moved and supported by Mr. Engel, supported by Mr. Plummer. Is there any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Time for public comment. If there's anybody in the audience who would like to address the board today on an agenda item, please come forward. Seeing none, we're going to move to a presentation by Commissioner Darasinski.
Excuse me. This year, as well as last year, we had to do some budget cuts. And budget cuts mean cutting some things that are dear to us. And one of those issues were the motor patrol, the Harley cops, right? Or the motorized, the use of motorcycles in the police force. And I saw this as a good piece to have in our arsenal for public safety. And you know, we've all had to find different ways to do things, and I approached some of my friends, Dave being one of them. We need to keep this there, and was able to solicit the funds from a number of groups for last year and this year to again have those motorcycles in the fleet. And I'd like to recognize those people. And last year, I think the first check I got from was a bait, and I have come up here and introduce yourselves. They're the people that run the campground during bike time on Carpenter Brothers property. His name is Rabbit.
They call me Rabbit. I used to be an amateur drag racer. I can tell you juicier stories, but it'd be lies. But my name is Fred Sherman. I'm the RC of Region 5 here, local Elevate, Michigan.
Vic.
I'm Victor Olivieri. I am the Muskegon County, our regional coordinator for Region 5.
And then we also have these people from the American Legion who were also donators this year and last year. And you would introduce yourself, please?
I'm Shane Kammer. I'm from the Holton American Legion, former director.
I'm John Dwemer, the director for the Legion Riders, Holton American Legion.
I'm Ken Dorn, member of the American Legion Holton.
And I thank them. I will be representing both the committee that runs Power Tour. I sit on that committee, and they donated. And I don't know, Bonnie, have you seen that check yet?
I have not.
It's coming, it's coming. And also family events. They're the promoter that put on both the Power Tour and the bike time. And between those people, in the last 2 years, we've been able to keep those motorcycles on the road. And I just want to thank everybody for this. I'd like to get a picture with, I think, Captain Poland, you're the head of that. And there's somebody's going to get a picture of this. And I think we're going to see something in the Chronicle, right? All right. Okay. Yeah, please.
If I can take a minute of everybody's time here, Michael Poole, Captain of the Sheriff's Office. We were able to get our motor unit started out of our Traffic Services Division in 2003 at the Sheriff's Office. At that time, we started with 3 motors. These bikes are leased through Sandy Harder Davidson. And we do it twice a year is what we do because we don't put that many miles on them. But these are a great tool to utilize for traffic safety and extra programs that are going on in the county with all the events that are happening in Muskegon County. We initially were able to get these bikes funded through a grant through the Office of Highway Safety Planning through the Secondary Road Patrol Program. That fund, like most funds, dwindled a little bit on us, at which point we had asked the County Board of Commissioners to take on that responsibility through our budget for the Sheriff's Office. That did happen, but then it was cut again. And really, this is a community program that is being sponsored by the community, and the Sheriff's Office is always very appreciative when we can come together with community members to make a positive impact on those types of programs that we see to be very important throughout the county. So I personally want to thank these groups, and I know we'll see everybody around. So thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't know where you guys want to do this.
That's it. We got a picture and the deed. Yes, sir. Do you want to say something? Oh, no, you're right.
You don't want it?
Does it have my name on it?
I did ask. We had a couple of our motor officers here. The other two are actually still working right now today.
Would you introduce them, please?
Deputy Kendall Jepson. He's actually one of our secondary road patrol officers in our traffic division. And Deputy Todd Dunn. Deputy Dunn is currently in charge of our Marine division, ORV patrols, and he's also one of our motor officers. Deputy Ed Vanis and John Yax, who's the other secondary road patrol officer. They're working right now and could not be here.
What's the training? I mean, I understand the training to use those bikes on patrol is extensive for you people.
Yes, each of our officers went through a 2-week training program at the Michigan State Police Academy. I went through Northwestern's program out of Illinois. If you can ask those guys, although the schooling and training that we've received mentally and both physically, it's just about the hardest that we've been through. They get through the first week and really don't want to go back. I think that they can't do it, but about day 2 of the second week, if you listen to the instructors, it all works out fine.
Didn't you have to escort one of the presidential candidates at 100 miles an hour in the rain?
A little faster than that, but yes, sir. Actually, we took President Bush from here to the Kalamazoo area from there. And we did that motorcade when he came into Muskegon. We've done Kerry when he came through Muskegon. And then we did the vice president also coming into Kent County. Yes, sir.
I'm not going to try on all
No.
of them. Thank you very much.
You guys want to go outside?
Thank you, Commissioner Derazinski. Moving on to communications, there's a little item of communication in your packet there. Read that over if you want. Moving on to committee reports. Courts of Public Safety. Mr. Plummer.
Mr. Chairman, the Courts of Public Safety Committee met on February 7th, 2012, CPS 12/02-06 through CPS 12/02-11.
Moved by Longmire, seconded by Engel. Is there any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Commissioner Derazinski.
Yes.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jaeger.
Yes.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes.
Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
9 yes.
Chairman, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Longmire. Next, we have Human Resources Committee. Mr. Plummer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Human Resources Committee met on February 7, 2012. It was recommended and I moved HR 12/02-06 to HR 12/02-11.
Second.
It's been moved by Longmire, Mr. Plummer, seconded by Mr. Cross. Is there any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Derazinski.
Yes.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jaeger.
Yes.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes.
Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
9 yes.
Thank you. That motion passes. Moving on to Ways and Means Committee, Mr. Plummer.
Mr. Chairman, the Ways and Means Committee met on February 2nd, 2012, as recommended, and I move WM 12/02-11 to WM 12/02-13.
Second.
It's been moved by Plummer, seconded by Commissioner Engel. Questions or comments? Mr. Jaeger.
Do we have any idea where that generator is going to go, that 20 kW over here now?
We have, with the approval of this board, we will include it as a trade-in with the RFP, because we do not have a place for it,
Right.
rather than store it.
Because that just, well, okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Plummer.
There are no parts that can be recycled from.
We will include it as an alternate in the RFP to see but as the trade-in, we don't need the parts, we don't work on the generators, so someone may need it. Someone may be able to even use it, so we're gonna trade it in and let the manufacturer do it.
Commissioner Jaeger.
But we're doing it as an alternate then, so we can keep it if nobody offered this.
If we don't get it, if they don't give us a good trade-in or something, we think we can sell it on our own or something, but we're hopeful that we'll get a good trade-in.
The reason I brought this up is because right now it's all hooked up, so the company who were to bid on it can actually hear it. So if we put it in auction, no one can hear it. So
We anticipate we'll get a good trade-in.
very good. Thank you.
Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jaeger.
Yes.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes.
Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Commissioner Derazinski.
Yes.
9 yes.
That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Plummer. Plummer, sorry. Thank you. Moving on to item 11, Chairman's Report. I'd like to remind everybody that the National County Government Month is April. And check your calendars, make sure we're all in agreeing to have a board planning session on Tuesday, February 28th at 1:30.
Just wondered if there are a particular topic or topics for that agenda for that planning session?
For the planning session, we will be having a presentation by the Department of Employment and Training. They have some issues that they want to share with the Board of Commissioners. Also, the Milwaukee Clipper, I'm sorry. The Milwaukee Clipper, we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about the Summer Festival and its impact with Heritage Land.
Okay. Is there any committee liaisons make a report? Anybody wish to? Commissioner Wilkins?
Yes. I'll be reporting on the Muskegon area-wide plan. We met on January 31st at Muskegon Community College, and the chair was chosen, and that's Tom Anderson from North Muskegon, and Ed Whalen from Whitehall was elected vice chair. The meetings will be held quarterly at 3 p.m. at the Terrace Plaza, and there will be 5 meetings for the upcoming year. And these meetings will be open to the public. The task force will be addressing economic viability, social equity, public involvement, and a healthy environment. And this vision will be done by promoting land use and growth patterns that will sustain and improve the quality of life in Muskegon County. And the next meeting is going to be March 29th at 3 o'clock at Terrace Plaza. And I have a copy of this, Madam Clerk, for you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Wilkins. Anybody else? Skolnick?
I think it's worth mentioning. I attended, and Reelstein was there too, a meeting of the Airport Advisory Committee on Monday, and actually it was a pretty good meeting, I thought. And I'm happy to report that the traffic at the airport in January was up 40%, and the airport manager and the director, Bob Lukens, made a trip to SkyWest to lobby for an early morning flight out of here. Our earliest flight out is at noon, which pretty much eliminates business travel because really you've lost one day. It doesn't look like we're going to get that flight at least immediately and maybe ever, just because they have 4 cities that they're serving under this Essential Air Service program, and they don't have enough airplanes. They need another airplane to give us a 7 a.m. flight. They did mention that if we had an extra $1 million, that they would be happy to accept that and put another plane in here. But that wouldn't buy us, that would just lease the plane for a year. So, but I'm encouraged by the airport. So that's my response.
Thank you. Moving on to the administrator's report.
The only thing I'd like to report today is you see there are 2 pictures that are in the boardroom today. These are from an exhibition that was done at the Muskegon Museum of Art. It was called Neighborhoods, and these are real people in Muskegon County. They did 24 of the 27. This photographer went out and knocked on people's doors and took pictures in 24 of the 27 municipalities, and the Muskegon Museum of Art contacted me and said, we have this exhibition, they don't have any place to store these, what should we do with them? 2 of them are in this building, 14 of them will be out at Brookhaven, and there's a number of other, I think we're doing a couple out at the airport. And so the county was able to house all of these without them having to pay for storage, and it also adds something. It is Muskegon County, and the credit goes to our community development director. He successfully contacted and found places for all these pictures, but that's why you see pictures of it today. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Old business, is there any old business for the board? Old business. Is there any new business? Commissioner Plummer?
Commenting, I think this is a great idea, but now that we all know what it's about, there's going to be people that come into the audience here that may not know. Is there any type of a heading that can be put on these and say, families in Muskegon County or something?
Now that you mention it, at the gallery, and maybe they just came in here today and put these up, but at the gallery, they actually did have little placards next to them, and maybe they're going to come here, but I'll call and see if we can have the placards, because it actually tells what municipality these people are from, and which is very interesting. But you're right.
Yeah, because just like everybody should know,
right.
Not we know, but a lot of people may not.
And it would also, Mr. Chair, it would also be nice if on that little plaque they could name the families.
Oh,
yeah.
They were.
They were. They
all
do
had
name
the
the
names
families.
and the municipality.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
So maybe that's coming next, but I'll call and make sure that we can get that. I would anticipate. But like I said, these just came in the door today, so maybe they're not done yet, but we'll make sure that we have some more information with them.
Mr. Jagger?
On these trading that thing, and I'd never thought of that before, but my son just traded his car off, and he couldn't get $1,000 out of eBay, so, and he got $2,000 trading it in. And I listened to the clerk how much she goes to trying to put these things through auction, and a lot of times we only get $200-300. And I just wonder if there's a lot of things. I don't think any other counties are doing that kind of thing, but maybe it's easier for everybody if sometimes we just got rid of this stuff through trading it off. And, and any amount of money is better than, because if she's got a lot of hours involved and everybody in the auction house and, going through it, maybe it's just cheaper.
One of the goals of the purchasing department over the next year will be to implement a practice that we will evaluate. There's been a previous practice that we didn't get rid of things very often, and we're going to put a procedure in place that will evaluate things that are no longer in use and whether we keep them or move them on. The goal is to move them on quickly and not to store things, and because by the time we get back to them, their value has diminished quite a bit. So we are looking at how we can do that better in Muskegon County.
If you look at it like with trading in cars, like if we're getting rid of 3 police cars, there's no reason maybe we couldn't do this. I mean, even with the buses, everything, I don't know why sometimes we keep them, we get very little for them. So, I mean, you could broaden the horizon of what you're trying to do.
We need to, we need to look at all those options, and I don't know why, an example that you give is the buses. I don't think we've ever, I mean, we always are selling those buses, and I don't know why. So we'll look at that. I mean, there may be a reason why we're doing that. I'm not gonna say that it's been done wrong, because I don't mean that. I just mean there might be a better way, so that we're not accumulating this, and we're getting our best value at the time to offset costs.
Right.
Yeah, thank you
very much.
Mr. Sloan?
You know, and just a follow-up to Commissioner Jagger's comment. One of the problems I've had over the years, and I think everybody in this room, with the elected officials, feel the same way, that these items, like this generator, doesn't belong to anybody, it belongs to everybody. Now, if I owned this generator, I guarantee I would find somebody to buy it and get as much as it was worth, but when the county does it, it seems like we never get anything for anything. You know, I look at those cars that we auction off, and I mean, I know I could do, listen, I'm no genius, I know I could do better, but I don't know how that could happen. It can't. And one of the items I'm thinking about we recently spent, I don't know, $17,000, $18,000, $19,000 on a couple of motors, 250 horsepower outboard motors. And the old motors, I think, Sheriff, I may be wrong, but I think the old motors ran. I mean, those things are expensive, and yet when you go trade it in or whatever we do with them, we don't get anything for anything. And you may be right, Alan, that trading it in might be the best deal.
Yeah, I don't see where it would take any more paperwork to write it up in your
Right,
bid.
right,
Then
and
it
that's
has to
what we're
put the
looking-
clerk through
yeah.
trying to sell it, so. I'm
Sure.
kind of putting in a line.
For what it's
but-
worth,
I only collect and show the title, that's my goal.
For what it's worth, generally, if businesses save something, they look at a 3-month time frame to equal their cost of the item. So anytime we look at something, maybe that's too tight for us. Anytime over a year, we're not gonna use it, we're better off not to have it. But that's up to the, that's what the research will show.
Any other new business? Moving on to public comment on a new topic. Mr. Riley?
My name is Jim Riley. Did you miss me the last couple of weeks? There was mention of the planning session coming up, and I know that it wasn't too long ago that I was approached by somebody and I signed a form with my email address on it to be notified of planning meetings and other meetings that are not normal to the regular Tuesday, Thursday schedule. And I know many others are interested in attending these occasional meetings, and just wondering what the procedures were to notify those of us citizens and taxpayers who are interested in attending. Is there, I kind of expected when I signed before that I would have been contacted.
I will check with staff. I don't know specifically what the procedure is, but I'll check with the board liaison person and see what that procedure
Would
is.
someone perhaps be able to get back with me?
Yeah,
on that so I
if
can
you've
pass it
left
on
your,
to-
yeah, if you've left your information.
And can you tell me, but I didn't get the date of this, the date and time of the planning?
February 28th.
28, and where, you know where that will be?
It'll be over at South Campus. I don't know what room at this time. I don't know that we've reserved.
And the time?
1:30.
1:30. Thank you very much. Pardon me?
Room 202.
Oh, same as before, thank you.
Mr. Woods?
Chuck Woods, North Muskegon. Just in reference to the trade-in versus selling and so on, maybe this is an opportunity for some collaboration between the municipalities. I know we collaborate on buying things. I don't know if we've ever collaborated on throwing things away or getting rid of them, however you want to put it. But we're looking for a large generator for emergency use in North Muskegon, and it seems to me we appropriated $30,000 for it. I'm assuming that's a whole lot more than you're looking at getting for yours. The shipping charge would be pretty cheap to go from here to North Muskegon. If it works, it would surely do as an emergency for us. But there must be a lot of other things that we go through asset-wise that are not purchases, they're things that we could trade down the line and might help all of us. Just a thought. So, and I'm sure there's reasons not to do it too, but at this point in time, I think it's at least something that I would like to know the specifications of the generator you're.
We'll contact you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Woods. Anybody else? This time I'd like to recognize a couple elected officials, Mr. Thompson from Eggleston Township Supervisor, Dave Keefe from Muskegon Township, Jerry Sago from the Road Commission, and of course Mr. Woods from North Muskegon. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Aye. Adjourn. Thank you.